Welcome to the Chrissy Mayer podcast. We are on iTunes, YouTube, Spotify, and SoundCloud. And if you're listening right now on iTunes, please go and leave a 5-star review. I will be reading the best reviews every week, so long as they are 5 stars. Just go. It could be weird. It could be silly. It could be anything. Creepy, flirty. I'll read it. For example, here's a review from a club. I can't read it. Stay weird. Normal is boring. I love this podcast. I first heard of you from Sam on Tinfoil Hat podcast. Oh, that's a very good conspiracy theory podcast. And needed more. Love it, sis. P.S. Your voice is like an angel. Oh my God. Thanks. Haters just jealous. Tighten your tinfoil hat and keep rocking it. Oh, wow. Well, thanks, AKL18. Well, that just makes my day. Thank you, guys. Thank you for the reviews. And also, they can be weird, too. I'm very excited about my new sponsor. You may have heard that they are a hot sauce company, and I'm really getting into it now. I was never a hot sauce person because I just look at me, you know what I mean? Like my mom would make noodles and butter, and peanut butter and jelly, and I was like, spices, that wasn't even a thing until maybe my 30s. So that's why I'm really excited about my new sponsor, Silk City Hot Sauce. Head over to silkcityhotsauce.com and use the promo code CMP and you'll get 15% off your order. These guys are great. Jeff and Enid know their stuff. They run the company all on their own. If we want to help the economy out, let's start with small businesses who really care about their product and their customers. Again, go to Silk City Hot Sauce and order some. They've got I got a mango goddess thing. I got this tonic. I got like super spicy, not so spicy one for tacos. I'm into it now. This is my life. I mean, I'm not gonna carry it in my purse. Let's not go that far, but it's okay. Use the promo code CMP and you'll get 15% off your order. And they will actually throw in a free bottle of cherry sriracha and some stickers. I have a ton here. I don't know what to do with. So use the promo code CMP, Silk City Hot Sauce. So excited to have this guy on the show today. I've been a fan for a minute. He is a recording artist, and his rap album, Maga Season, when it debuted, it was #1 on Amazon. It was like #2 in the UK. It's pretty much blown up. This guy's great. Bryson Gray, how are you?
I'm doing great, and I'm so glad you pronounced the album title correctly because usually interviews people like, what does SZN mean?
Come on, man. Use your brain a little. Suzanne. Mega Suzanne. Yeah, this is exciting. So and I was just talking about this with Talib Starks the other day, and he has a show on Compound Media where I also have a show called Safe Space, and he's also a Black conservative voice, and he's like, isn't it funny that we need to even say Black conservative voice, like that it actually has to be categorized like that, that you actually need to like preface it, and I realized, oh wow, like that is kind of an interesting thing, but it's just anything against the given. Anything against the grain, sometimes you need a special title for. But I think, voices like yours and his, and like Candace Owens, I think to me are truly so brave because I feel like, Black conservative voices are among the most threatening and among the most ignored and suppressed in our media. And I just wanted to hear from you directly how that kind of affects your everyday life, and you're a performing artist. So,
well, I tell people all the time that Black conservatives and straight white Christian males are the most persecuted people like in the country right now. And the reason why it's so bad when it comes to like Black conservatives is because when you come out as a Black conservative, especially when you come out as a Black Trump supporter, people feel like you have let the community down because it's really like, people think that all Black people think alike, even Black people. So when you come out and say, I support Trump, it's not okay, I respect your opinion. No. It has to be a whole thing behind it. Everybody's tweeting you, calling you all types of names, and you lose friends, or in my case, your music stops getting played on the radio. You lose all your industry connections. So a lot of that happens, and that's why it's so bad, because people feel like you're literally like going against your people. That's genuinely how they look at it. And it's sad because we're the only group in the country that votes, the people that do vote 90% one party. Nobody else does that. Not white people, not Hispanics, not Asians rarely even vote to begin with. But nobody else does that. It's really just black people, and it's like we need black conservative voices, especially now. That's crazy. And so the Democrats know it too. Joe Biden pretty much tell you all the time. Joe Biden admits it all the time. He's the other day he basically said black people are a monolith.
He said they're what?
He said, what is it? He said, unlike the African American community, with notable exceptions, the Latino community is a diverse group.
I do remember him saying that. Oh my God, what is he thinking? I mean, I'm like, I was just about to order one of these Weekend at Bernie shirts, like Weekend at Biden's, where he's like, you know, it's him and like Pelosi is like holding him up. And, I can't understand, like, even if you've been a lifelong liberal progressive, how you can get to this point at this, you know what I mean, this close to the election and take a hard look at Biden and be like, really, this is what we're going for? Like he's in obvious mental decline, and then like really it's like classic old person. And when you ask him about it, he's like, no, I'm great. Look over there. Where's my pancakes? You know?
What's sad is a lot of people in the black community don't even get to see the stuff he's saying. They don't really pay attention to the news that much. They get their news from celebrities and stuff. So unless celebrities talk about it, they don't really know it. It's like if you show anybody the stuff that Biden says, they'll instantly be like, "Oh yeah, I can't vote for him," you know. But people never show it. CNN doesn't show it. That's for sure.
For sure not. It's like, it's crazy that it's gotten to the point where to even be a little bit informed, you have to really become your own journalist and spend a lot more time getting different sources. It's like, yeah, watch the mainstream media, watch Fox, but then look at other stuff too. Look at independent sources, you know, check out news from other countries, because, you know, actually in the country, like I forget what the site is, but you can find out like basically how honest your news is, your mainstream news is. And I think like the US is like 25 on the list. Like we're definitely down there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you are going to watch the news, you have to realize that these are nothing but opinion shows. So they give you opinion on actual news. So what you need to do is find out where they got their information from and go look at that information yourself, and then form your own opinion about whatever real research you do. Don't just take the word of Anderson Cooper or even Tucker Carlson. Don't just take their word for it. Just go research what they research and form your own opinion.
Right. And what's cool about you is like you're confident about your views. It's like you go and you said in another interview that you're like, I try to wear something patriotic every day, you know, which I think is so brave, because it's almost like people would see that as inviting some sort of conflict, just because we've seen so many videos with like, you know, somebody yelling at somebody. I mean, we were driving somewhere, and my boyfriend's dad has like a Trump sticker on the back of his car. And first we heard honking and we were like, what's going on? And then he's just giving the finger and then like speeds by us, giving the finger. And it's like, wow, like all this hostility, you know? And it's like, I can't imagine going out. I mean, before coronavirus, you know what I mean, when things are more normal, but I can't imagine going out, you know, wearing the hat, wearing a shirt. It's almost like, do you feel like you are inviting some sort of conflict, or do you wear it to think like, you know what, maybe I can change somebody's mind today. Maybe I can start a conversation.
Well, the funny thing is I get that a lot, like you're inviting this. And to me, the fact that it's even looked at like that is very sad, because if somebody walks out with an Obama hat, you're not going to say they're inviting anything to them. Or somebody walks out with a Bernie shirt, you're not going to say they're trying to invite negativity. You're not going to say that to them. But the fact that if I wear a MAGA hat, the view is you're inviting something is sad to me. I wear it because we have a First Amendment. You know, I don't know if anybody has read that before. We have the freedom of speech, we have the freedom of expression. So I should be able to wear whatever the heck I want to wear, because you can wear whatever you want to wear. I was at this, I went to the BLM rally with my Trump hat on just to analyze what was going on. And a lot of these Antifa members had shirts that said, God is dead. And I'm a Christian, a hardcore Christian. So are they inviting violence? I just go yell at them or something, you know? Okay. No, but if I wear a Trump hat, I'm inviting negativity because somebody's gonna yell at me. That's their problem for not respecting my freedoms as an American. So I'm gonna do it anyway because I don't care. So it's not about inviting negativity. It's me not caring about the negativity.
Which is good, right? And it's ultimately a reflection of them if they're triggered, you know. And
Boom.
And patriotism should not mean Republican. And it's like I've only seen this in the last, really since Trump has been in office. So it's like if people are associating patriotism with being Republican or being conservative, like, well, what is that telling us? That's telling us that the left is sort of anti-American. And I was like, wow, it's true. I even think back to like when I was in college, it was like the cool thing to be like, oh, Europe doesn't like us. Like it was this, I don't know, it was like this cool kind of like accepted thing to be like shitting on your own country. And I didn't realize until I was out of college, like how kind of toxic and shitty that is to just be, have that bouncing around college, and that's all your friends are talking about and all your teachers are talking about, and you're trying to be like above your own country in a way. Like, I don't know, I just feel like that's kind of gross.
We're spoiled brats here. We're spoiled brats. And so the problem with being a spoiled brat is you start talking crap about your own country, but you wouldn't dare go to another country and live there. You might go visit, you wouldn't dare stay there. Like people always complaining about America. I remember 2016, I'm gonna move here, get out. I can't wait. Go do it. You tell me how that works out. Especially people like Cardi B. Please go dressing how you dress and making the music you make in one of these African countries you're talking about. Go do it. People look at you in disgust. I don't know.
Speaking of Cardi B, have you seen WAP?
Yeah, it's disgusting. And I mean, it's disgusting. And I can't stand people be like, why are people talking about this video? A lot of rap music is like this. That first off, that has nothing. That doesn't change anything about the point about the WAP video. I'm not even a Ben Shapiro fan, but his video on that video is accurate. What he said is accurate. That is getting promoted to kids. There's already 17,000 videos on TikTok done to that song. Do you know the average age of people on TikTok?
They're like 15.
Come on.
And yeah.
These 15, 13, 14-year-old girls are on TikTok talking about their vaginas and disgusting stuff. It's like, what? How can there's no? I've seen videos of mothers listening to that song with their daughters. They are disgusting. And then I've seen a lot of people even go further than defending Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion. They went to defending prostitution because of them. I'm like, yo, this is literally why this is one of the reasons I make the music I make now, is to fight against that culture. But to see how many people defend that culture but call me a coon for making music that's pro nuclear family, that's pro God, it's crazy to me.
It is crazy. And I only looked at the music video because a friend of mine, Frankie Becerra, he's another comic, he posted, and he's like, you know, very kind of like dry delivery. He posted like, oh, I think I could be Megan Thee Stallion's new ghostwriter. And he just read basically like poetry, and he's like, his taglines are like Pokemon Go and like, oh, you'll make a guy feel like wearing a t-shirt in the pool. Like, it's really funny. But then I got curious. I'm like, you know what, let me look at this music video. And I like to pick apart symbolism in music videos, because ever since I started really taking a closer look at like Lady Gaga and like, you know, well, Britney too, because that's what I grew up with. I'm just like, wow, we need to really look at the messages we're getting through our media. And I'm looking at this like WAP video, and I was like, basically it's like Cardi and Megan, and they're playing dress up. It looks like they are how little girls play dress up. It looks like they're having like it's like tea party vibes, you know, because the house, it's almost like this Marie Antoinette, like pastels, their hair's all done, like they look great, and no one's denying that. And then you like listen to the lyrics and you're like, okay, yeah, this isn't such a huge departure from a lot of the other popular rap songs out there. But if you look at the music, the symbolism in the music video, and it's like, ugh, because I remember how I felt, you know, looking at videos when I was, you know.
Well, it's not only that, I don't think, see, people don't know how much money goes into marketing with music. And I don't know if you've been on YouTube, but if you go to anybody's recommended on YouTube, WAP video is there.
Wow.
After you finish watching the video on YouTube and it's about to play something next, WAP video is there. If you get on Spotify, WAP song is there. If you get on any platform, they are promoting that to everybody on these social media platforms.
Oh.
So the problem is how much money, because a lot of these like hood trap songs, they don't have millions of dollars in marketing into them. They just don't. That's not how hood music works. But when you got this Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion song, I'm gonna be honest, I don't think neither one of them is attractive. I honestly, genuinely think Megan Thee Stallion is a man, but you know, it's just my view. But we look at how much money they put into it, and you can't get away from the song. I was watching last night. I was watching Fortnite videos. Why is WAP in my recommended?
Yeah, no, that I would not put those two together.
Because it's not supposed to be. I was watching political videos. Why is WAP there? Every time I watch a video, WAP was one of the next some things that are naturally played, and it's because they put millions and millions of dollars into marketing.
Yeah, they pay to have it pushed at the top of everybody's feeds. It's like it's in your face whether you like it or not, whether this is your style of music or not. And it worked, right? Like I watched it, I was like,
I watched it.
This is interesting. And I guess it works, right? Everybody talks about it, whether they like it or not. It's in everybody's pocket. It's in everybody's face, and it's really interesting.
I'm glad that there's a lot of people are willing to talk about it now. I'm glad that there's a clash and an argument happening about it because for the last year and a half, I've been pressing that like rap music is like about crazy. Like I have a show on Patriotism Soapbox, and I was talking about Chicago culture. And a lot of people think the war on the South Side of Chicago has something to do with drugs, but it literally doesn't. It's literally about songs. They diss dead rival gang members in all of their songs, and then they get killed for this. And like it just happened. You know what I'm saying? So it's like music influences people. People don't even know it's influencing them. You know what I'm saying? And so I've been talking about the music for a while and how we need to combat it. Not ban music because you don't like it, but push artists in that field that could battle it, because rap music is the most popular genre in this country right now, if you like it or not. So if you have kids, they're probably listening to it. So why not give them? So instead of complaining about our time, give them an alternative, like me, like Tyson James, like Zuby, like there's a lot of people now making positive rap music without cursing.
Yeah, and it's like, and I'm not pro censorship of any kind either. Like that, I mean, like kind of a good beat. I was like, okay, like without listening to the lyrics, I was like, I like the song. Without looking at the video, I was like, I mean, it's not bad. But if you think about it, it's like the lyrics are so dirty. It sounds like a grown ass woman talking dirty talk to a dude. You know what I mean? And like, what is the effects of that? Like, yes, guys listen to it and they go, oh, that's really hot. I want a girl to talk to me that way. And then women are like, oh, this is how I have to talk to be attractive to the opposite sex. And then like younger, more impressionable kids and teens growing up, what are you imprinted with? If you're a girl, you're like, this is how I have to talk and conduct myself to elevate myself, be famous, right? Be glamorous, be seen, but also this is how I get the attention of men. And this is how when really it's like and then a lot of people say, oh, they're feminists, they're pro-woman, they're pro-sex, which is great, but I think we can get these themes across without being so graphic, without talking about how wet your pussy is. I think you can get across to like women and men, like, to be confident and own your shit without exactly, and I'm not saying change these lyrics, you know what I mean? Like people can create what they can create, but it's like, I think we should also be like, it's just kind of a shame that there's not millions of dollars of marketing behind something just as good with a more positive message ultimately. And at the end of the day, it is up to the parents to,
if that's women empowerment, I feel bad for women empowerment. I'm gonna be honest. I'm and maybe it's a bias in me because I'm super religious. But it's like, if I had a child, I would literally ban my child from getting on social media because of stuff like that.
And that's what I've been seeing a lot. A lot of parents are like, I'm not letting my girl watch.
Because to be honest, your parents raise you, but your parents is not the only influence in a child's life. That's just not real. That's not even reality. The culture influences a kid just as much as parents, and you can't. It's almost impossible to keep them out of engaging in what's popular in the culture. So how can you keep your kid off Twitter? How can you keep your kid off Instagram? How can you keep your kid off TikTok? How can you keep your kid off Snapchat? How can you keep your kid off Twitter? I mean, Facebook is nearly impossible. So, and if you own any of that, you know what WAP is now. Especially if you listen to rap music, you know what that is. So, but once again, I don't like banning anything, like you said. So we need to create alternatives. Like, I'm working on a music streaming service currently, and like you're like the second person I ever told about this. But I'm working on a music streaming service to where it'd be impossible to even. You can put the whole music streaming service on shuffle. It'd be impossible to hear a song like that.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Great, that should exist.
Yeah, because conservatives, especially for social conservatives like me, we really do need our own economy. We need our own platform. And we can still combat them on Twitter and combat people like that on Twitter things. But I want to have kids one day. You know what I'm saying? I want to get married. I want to have kids. And I refuse to just give my kids up to the world. So as a man, I should create something where I can just let them roam free on. I don't have to worry about putting restrictions on them. So create my own version of Netflix, create my own music streaming service, create our own YouTube, create our own this, create our own that. So not have to worry about stuff like that. But you know, that's just my view.
That's so smart, Bryson, because it's like, yes, ideally, we would all hope that like conservative, progressives, left, right, all of our art could exist in the same place. But it's like, we see what gets elevated, we see what gets suppressed. So it's like, yeah, maybe we do need conservative streaming services. You know, it's like, because it feels like liberals kind of own, they have like such a firm grip on you know, all of this media. So it's like, yeah, like let's just put it out there and see what people like.
Not only do they own it, I tried to promote my MAGA stepping video on YouTube. It was denied. I tried to promote it on Instagram, denied. Facebook, denied. But if you look at all of these ads promoting a song called Wets, ASSPUSSY, they can do that. But I can't. And my music is literally, I don't even curse. I don't even curse. It's nothing negative in my music. Wow. And I can't even promote it, but they can promote that to kids. But I can't promote what I got to kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Complex, all of these hip hop magazines, they refuse to do a story on my album, even though it's an independent album about politics with no curse words. Like a no marketing budget and hit Billboard charts. That should be an easy story for any hip hop platform.
Plus it's diversity. Plus it's like, you know what I mean? Why wouldn't they jump at? It's like we keep hearing elevate Black voices. Well,
exactly. It's so crazy because like literally what I did with this album has never been done before. Like I'm not even saying that to brag. It just literally hasn't been done before ever. And no hip hop artists pick it up because it's like against the narrative. But these same websites are pushing the crap out of that new Cardi B song. That's what's so disgusting about it. They're purposely pushing conservative views. Like conservative views to them is worse than somebody making a song about wet ASSPUSSY. So we have to create our own platform. It's not even like we have to. Not saying we can't still engage in these other platforms. But we have to elevate our own voices now. Stop relying on the left. The left runs every aspect of entertainment.
Yeah, and it's just, and I look at that and I go, wow, like because what's the message? Like if I was like a teenage girl like watching that, like what the message I'm getting is like my biggest value is for like how attractive guys see me, basically. Like my biggest source of power is how turned on I can get, or how turned on I can say that I am, or like how sexual I am. It's like that's I feel like the message there is like, oh yeah, that's where all female power comes from. Like, yes, there is a lot of power in that, but it's really scary and dangerous when you're getting hit over the head with like the same message from so many different angles, and then we wonder why, you know, everybody we know is on OnlyFans. Not that there's anything wrong with OnlyFans, but like, I
think it's something wrong.
It's just if you grow up thinking your highest value is your sex and sexuality, then it's like, how can we be surprised this many women are in porn, and then we're gonna still shit on them? It's like our whole culture is
about that.
Is about it.
And my thing is, I saw this coming years ago because I feel like everything is a slippery slope. I feel like if enough people complain, somebody gonna loosen up some rules or loosen up this, loosen up on this, and then you know what I'm saying, you allow this one thing, what you don't know, this one thing gonna lead to this, and that gonna lead to this, and that gonna lead to this, and now we're here where 16-year-old girls low-key have OnlyFans accounts, and you know, this is just where we are in society, and it is actually disgusting because they're proud of it. But once again, if somebody come out saying, hey, I agree with traditional marriage, I agree with the nuclear family, that's the bad person now. So we're living in the upside down world, and it's because everybody is soft. Republicans are soft. Democrats, they enjoy what they're doing. And Republicans, the left goes so far left that Republicans think they're compromising by moving far left, but the left are doing so far left. You're not compromising. You're giving them what they want. You're not getting nothing. That's why I don't identify. I don't mind when people like refer to me as a Republican, but I don't necessarily enjoy it because I'm a conservative. Okay, these Republicans nowadays are like centrists or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. If anything, it's like you have to declare yourself conservative or Republican just to be like, yeah, I'm kind of in the middle. And it's like everything's shifted. It's like the right is now the center. And there's just like, woo, the left is the whole radical left. And
Yeah,
I find it really, I don't know, I don't understand why the left is so anti-religious, yet they're so pro big government. To me, that's kind of hypocritical because like, uh, not like you have to believe in God or whatever. It's like, I kind of believe in more, I think the more I talk about it, the more I sound like a white girl who does yoga, but I do believe in kind of like, the universe, source energy, all that shit. Like I was born and raised Methodist. I've always had like faith, you know what I mean? Like I stopped going to church like in college or whatever, but I've always been like, okay, there's something there for sure. I just feel like it's a bit healthier to be like, yeah, like let's kind of rely on our religion or God or whatever to like empower us to be better people rather than relying on the government who kind of keep us enslaved and have control over our lives.
Oh yeah, obviously that's why everybody walk around driving around in cars by themselves with masks on today.
Yep.
Because the government is their religion. So and that's where we at in the world now. And I think, I think it's disgusting because it's almost like they, like I was at a Back to Blue rally, and these BLM people were there. Half of them were, white homosexual people, and the other half were black homosexual people. And you could tell they enjoyed causing the chaos. It wasn't no peaceful protest. They came and tried to snatch microphones out of people's hands. You can literally just tell they enjoyed it. Like this is their point in life. You know what I'm saying? And it's scary. It's scary.
It's almost like it's performative. It's and they know that it's like, okay, it's like they've all kind of learned like, okay, this is how you get attention, this is how you get reinforcement from your peers, right? This is how you feel validated. And right, if you break something or cause chaos, like even better.
Oh man, what, you used to see the smile on their face, right? But you could tell they know better because they act like they were about like they were actually trying to beat up older men and older women with canes and stuff. And then, you know what I'm saying? So I went to go help an older guy. And of course, I live in North Carolina, so I'm open carrying with my gun on my hip. And they act like they was about to jump on me. And then one of them looked at my hip and backed up a little bit. I said, exactly. Stop acting like you about like, stop. Y'all got to stop acting like y'all are built for this type of stuff. Like, look at y'all. Like, look. Like, come on. Like, get real. And then one of them said, shoot me. I'm ready to die. Shoot me first. I said, okay, attack me then. I dare you. I said, right now, if y'all so hard, it's 5 of y'all, one of me. Attack me right now. Nobody did nothing. Because deep down, these people know what they're doing is crazy. Nobody wants to get shot. That's the truth of the matter.
No one does want to get shot. Yeah. And it's I think you have an interesting perspective because you used to be a Democrat. You you were all about it because you said that you were born and raised and like taught to be oppressed growing up. How was that how was that kind of like drilled into your head growing up?
Well, being a Democrat is literally a default setting in the black community. There's not no argument about it. It's just like that's not even nothing you think about. That's why a lot of people don't do research on politics because why? We know we're a Democrat. Democrats are for poor, colored people, and Republicans are only for rich, evil, white people. That's what you taught. And you believe that growing up because everybody's telling it to you. Not only your friends, your parents, not only your parents, your grandparents, not only the grandparents, the media, not only the media, the radio, you know what I'm saying? So it's drilled into your head, you just automatically believe it. So the reason how I got red pill is I was going hard for Bernie Sanders in like 2015 and early 2016. And then I went to Bernie Sanders' website and looked up what he believed in. I literally didn't agree with anything. There literally wasn't one thing on his website I agreed with. And then I started thinking like, dang. Because I used to argue with Bernie supporters online too. They used to call me a fake Bernie supporter because I'm super like religious and socially conservative. So it was like, how can you believe this and agree with Bernie? So I used to argue like, what do you mean? I can blah blah blah. But of course I didn't know anything, know any better.
Right.
after going to Bernie Sanders' website, I said, dang, maybe I was a fake Bernie supporter. Like,
I think at least you actually took a moment to be like, hey, let me see what this guy's really into, which is, I think, something not a lot of people do. They just go, who do my friends and people like me support? All right, that's the easiest. I'll go with that. You know?
Well, it wasn't genuine curiosity. I just got tired of attacking Republicans online with the same stuff, so I wanted to learn more to try to beat Republicans in debates online. So it wasn't no genuine like curiosity. Just hey, I just want to see what Bernie is really about. It wasn't like no, it wasn't like that. It was like these dang old Republicans. I just want to So
yeah.
so I went to Bernie Sanders' website first to just learn about what he's about. So next time I have a conversation, I can bring out the point, you know. And then when you start reading his you know, everybody's got that part on their website, like what we believe or what we do, you know, and they give you like every topic. It basically gives you their views on that topic. And when I was reading, I said, "Oh heck no! What?" I was like, "This what?"
Like, can you remember if it was one particular issue that made you go whoa, or like, you know, something specifically that made you go, oh, that's definitely not how I feel?
Oh, it was all of the social stuff and economics, because my parents like owned a beer store and I was running the beer store, so like I know what it takes to run a business, and I was like with them through the process of starting, so I know how hard it is to start a business. I know how much it costs every time. It's a strain to open up a new business, which lets people that have already had successful businesses for the last 40 years pretty much monopolize everything. You know what I'm saying? So they own everything because they could easily do it. It's so hard for new people to do it. So if somebody does it from the ground up, it's like Bernie want to make that harder for people, you know, and then raise the minimum wage. I said back when there was no minimum wage, there was also not many homeless people at all. Wow. Everybody had a job at 14 years old. If you didn't have a job, like my grandparents, they said they didn't have a job at 13, 14. They said if you didn't have a job first off, they said your parents weren't paying for your school clothes at 13, 14. You were, because you had a job. They said if you didn't have a job by 13, 14, then something was wrong.
Wow.
Nowadays it's not like that, because the minimum wage put another strain on businesses. So they have to be, they can't just give out jobs willy-nilly. They got to make sure they give out jobs, you know what I'm saying, accurately, because you have minimum wage, and then he tried to boost that up to $15 an hour, which is dumb, because that 15 is gonna work just like this $7.50, because prices for everything gonna go up. I mean, that's just the way it works. And then socially, like I said, I'm super religious, so everything Bernie Sanders stands for socially is I disagree with every single aspect. There's not one thing he stands for socially that I agree with. So I was actually disgusted after going to his website. Instantly after that day, you never seen me post about Bernie again. And everybody was like, "Dang, Bryson, what happened? I thought you were a Bernie, bro." Like I was like, yeah, I just didn't comment.
Yeah, I think that's what people don't realize. Like our parents and grandparents, yeah, they were working at 13, 14, and it's like those jobs are necessary to get that. Like, of course, you're not going to pay your rent on a job you're going to have at 13, 14 years old, nor should you. It's to get that early job experience, to like learn a work ethic, to learn responsibility. Yeah, you want to pitch it at home a little, great. But if you're starting out, right, like at the minimum wage, like $10, $15 an hour, well, it's like you're not going to give that to a kid. You're going to give that to, I guess, someone who's trying to support their family. But it's like kind of fucking with what was a kind of a good trajectory. It seemed like, you know, you get those early jobs when you're young and then work up.
I'm telling you, because most jobs, like, people don't realize this, jobs care about experience more than education.
Absolutely.
A lot of people don't know that, which is why the people that are most successful graduating college are the ones that did internships during college. You know, the ones that did stuff in their field during college. A lot of people don't realize that. So if you're working at 13, 14, what kind of job you think you're going to have at 20? You got so much experience.
Yeah.
And plus, somebody's going to look up the homelessness rates from back in those days when there was no minimum wage. It really wasn't a homeless. There wasn't really many homeless people to be, period. And it's because everybody was already working. Jobs were able to be more flexible, hiring people. Rent and stuff was lower. And, you know, if you look up, as soon as they implemented minimum wage laws, everything, the cost of everything went up, and it's been going up ever since. So, I mean, you know, that's part of the problem, in my opinion.
Yeah. It's and all this information is out there. It's people just have horse blinders on.
Yep.
I want to talk about like some of the backlash you've been getting. I think you said you've been viewed as kind of like, and people have called you like Uncle Tom, like other liberals.
All that.
It goes back to the like, oh, if you think differently than us, well, there's something wrong with you. We need to come after your character. How do you deal with all that?
I mean, I used to do it too. So I was like, that's why like people be so confused about why I never get upset or things like that, and I laugh at it. It's because I sort of know what the person is thinking in their mind. Like, I used to do it too. I used to call people coons and house Negroes. You know, I know what you're going through, and it's due to ignorance because you have to attack what you don't understand. That's why every time I have a conversation with somebody, like I always wear my Trump stuff, and it usually ends up sparking a conversation. By the end of that conversation, that person will usually usually say Trump, like they'll at least say Trump isn't that bad. Because if you just look up the history of Trump, he was a cultural figure. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Trump was an icon. He was in all the rap music. He was in all the movies and TV shows. You know, come on. Trump was everywhere. So, I mean, once you start talking common sense, I think the problem is these people that wear suits all the time and try to talk politically correct sound like they're reading a speech they wrote. Nobody listening to that. I know I wasn't. That's why I had to red pill myself. There was no way anybody from the GOP could red pill me. I'm not listening to that crap. I can't relate to that crap. I don't want to hear you. You sound like one of my teachers from high school.
Not accessible. It's not like personable.
Yeah, it's like I don't care about that nonsense. You know, so like the reason why Trump won is because he talked like with common sense. He doesn't take all that politically correct. He doesn't unnecessarily use big words for no reason. You know, he talk like a regular human being.
He's not trying to impress other politicians. He's trying to connect with people.
Boom. If you talk to somebody like that, it is so easy to red pill somebody. The problem is people try to be like, look at this, bloop, bloop, bibbity, blop, all of this. They use 100 big words. It's like, bro, come on, bro. I don't got time for this. Give it to me straight.
Checking out of that. Yeah. And that's actually a skill because Trump could speak very intelligently if he wanted to. I'm sure he does when he meets with, you know, other world leaders or whatever at meetings. But that's the thing is like he charms the American public, and he kind of I think knows when people start to check out, and he knows that's an actual skill is to like get your opinions and viewpoints across in a way that people can understand and digest it, and in a way that's like you're not putting yourself above them. You know, you're not like follow me under.
Exactly. He's a New Yorker. He talks like he's a New Yorker, and I mean, just regular. He's dealt with people. He know how regular people talk. He know how to connect with regular people. Like, I'm gonna be honest. When I tweeted this one day, when Obama became president, he didn't really make me think I could be president. You know
wow.
Trump made me think I could be president because Trump talks like me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we're both Geminis, people that agree with astrology. I'm not really into astrology, but I do think it's weird how like men born between a certain amount of days. May 24th.
Ooh.
Yeah.
When it comes to Gemini, my boyfriend's Gemini. It's good. It means you like to talk.
Yeah, but Gemini, it's something about male Geminis born in a certain time frame that have like me, Tupac, Donald Trump, Prince. It's like we all got that I don't give a crap gene. It's sort of weird.
Oh, good. It's like that, and you also have like you're born with like leadership skills and like you know how to like get across to people. So that's pretty cool.
It's just weird. Like I'm not even into astrology, but it's weird how people can have similarities for the like the majority. Like Gemini women, I notice are different, but like the men, they literally have a lot of similarities if they're born between these days. That is nobody can deny nobody can say that's not weird.
Right. I know. People are so quick to dismiss astrology, but the more you look into it, the more you're like, oh, there's a lot to just ignore the whole thing. You know? I mean, yeah, if you want to get real specific, it has to do with like where your moon is. You could read a chart. You could like, basically look at, okay, what time you were born, how all the planets were aligned when you were born. And if you actually like can break that down, that does say more about you as a person than just like your sun sign. But your sun sign is like how you are, outwardly, how the world sees you. So
it's just like even Kanye, you just pit all together. Me, Tupac, Kanye, Donald Trump. It's like there's a certain common denominator there. So
yeah, like you guys would all be drinking buddies and just talk. So you understand when people call you Uncle Tom and other names, because you know that they just don't understand. And like I think you understand, like anytime someone attacks you, it's a reflection on them. and their fears. It's like, oh wow, you're about, it's basically they're saying you're about to dismantle my whole worldview. You're about to like force me into a paradigm shift, like, and I don't like it because that means I have to change my tune and change my catchphrase and change all my social media bios.
Yeah, and another thing with people, like, I think another problem with a lot of people is they create images for themselves. So the person, and I noticed that when I started going to these events, these people are not the people I was looking at on social media. And it's like, I think a lot of people can sort of see through that. And a lot of, like, to me, just be genuine, just be yourself. Sometimes I make it controversial. I may lose 3,000 followers here, 3,000 followers on a Tuesday or something. Then the next week, I'm gonna gain that back plus more, because at the end of the day, if you like me or hate me, at least you like me or hate me for really me.
Yeah. Yeah, it is interesting. And like I'm always willing to listen and change my views on stuff, and because it's like I don't want to be tied to one idea or one thing. You know, it's like we all should be growing and learning as people. And it's like it's not the end of the world to have your mind changed on something, and it's good to
Nope.
be open to other people's. That's why I try to listen to, you know, all kinds of media, you know, see what's going on Vice, like all these other super lefty news outlets. So I don't know. Have you you know lost any friends, or has there anybody, you
Oh
know,
yeah.
you talked about your dad is pretty liberal.
Yeah. Well, before I went viral, the arguments between my parents were worse. Um, like they got bad. I remember because I had recently, like 2 years ago, I had a song on the radio, and on the rest is where I'm at. It was doing quite well, and then like I just started like saying my views on social media. Like it wasn't necessarily even pro Trump stuff in the beginning, but I'm like I said, I'm gonna say this for the eighth time on the show. I am super socially conservative, so my views are deemed controversial on any platform, and so I get on Facebook, just tell my views, and then the radio people from the radio station started seeing it, complaining. The music industry people I knew started complaining. I remember one day my mama called me and she cussed me out. She said, "You can't be a music artist and a political commentator. You can only be one." And then she said, "If you keep doing this nonsense, I'm done helping you invest in music." Because me and my parents together, we invested thousands on thousands on thousands on thousands on thousands into music. So
Wow.
you know what I'm saying. So they felt like I was like putting all that at risk for nothing. And me being the type of person I am, I made a song called "Black Not Democrat" the next day because I feel like I can do both. I feel like I always feel like I can do whatever I want, because I'm not motivated by money. I'm motivated by, you know what I'm saying, by one by God and one by impressing myself. So then I made my first song I made was "Black Not Democrat." It pissed them off too. Then it ended up with like 20K views on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? Which, I mean, in the scale of now, that isn't big. That's big. 20K views on Twitter. They stopped playing my music on the radio. That's true. I lost my music industry connect. So they were correct in that aspect. But now look, I had an album on Billboard charts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I feel like I made up for it. So the argument. And then with friends, I pretty much lost like 45% of my friends. What's funny is I just talked to one of my friends, Cam, and I was talking to him a few weeks ago. And I was like, "You listen to my album yet?" He's like, "Nah, I can't listen to that album, bro. Like, you my dog. I'm supposed to do whatever, but I can't listen to that album."
Wow.
But I called him two days ago, and I said, I just thought about it, bro. You listen to all this music about us killing each other, doing drugs, reckless sex, but you telling me you can't listen to my album because it got some pro-Trump vibes to it?
Yeah.
I was like, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm your homie, but you'll disregard your morals for these other people you listening to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But him being a genuine person, he's like, you know what, bro? I can't even argue with you because you're right. You know what I'm saying? So, but
Listen.
I don't know if it's in the MAGA season yet, but I hope he did because it's some bops on there.
Yeah, you know, it's like it's definitely threatening to be like, wow, my mind could be changed, my whole world, but then I have to like change my whole song, you know, like change my talking points. It's so easy to just cling to the same couple of points. What has been the biggest challenge for you, the biggest challenge in trying to red pill the Black community?
Well, to me, I don't even see any challenges. I'm a realist, so I mean it's set in stone in our community where it's the default setting to be a Democrat. So you're not going to red pill the majority. That's just realistic. So I mean, a 5%, 10% shift to me is easy. You can do it easily, probably more. You know what I'm saying? Just do it. So to me, that's how I look at it. It's not really a challenge. It's because to me, red pilling people was easy. Like 10 seconds into a conversation, you're gonna know if this person is capable of being red pill or not. So like to me, it's only hard for people that don't know any, like that don't know how to connect to people. That's the only people it's hard for. So it's not a challenge.
What is something you hear in a conversation that makes you go, "Oh, I could get to this person"?
When they start calling, like if the first thing they say is Trump is racist, or they say Trump did this, all you gotta do at that point is tell them what actually happened. Because the good thing about being conservative is, even if you don't do research, our talking points are more factually accurate than the left's talking points. So like so somebody says something, you can easily like do it. And me, I do tons of research. As soon as I say something about racism, I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna be an easy conversation about it.
Like, look at what he's actually done. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, then you pull out what he actually done, and usually it works. Sometimes it don't, but usually in that case, if you're talking to somebody like, you know what I'm saying, you can usually tell. Yeah, we get into the conversation, you can tell if you can red pill them or not. But 9 times out of 10, it's not gonna get hostile with me. Sometimes it do get hostile, but this might sound crazy, but it's usually with women.
Interesting.
Women are usually the ones that get hostile, and they don't listen at all. They just continue cussing you out, yelling at you. Like men, if they by themselves, they're usually like, we just be chilling, having a conversation.
Yeah, I wonder why that is. I know that it feels like more like maybe it has to do with more like, oh, like in the back of their brain, like, don't let this man tell you what to think, tell you what to do. I don't know if it's attached to some kind of twisted feminist theory or.
Personally, you know what I'm saying, not to be offensive, but I think it's sort of like a natural thing, so I'm never surprised. But I mean, it don't bother me. But women are the hardest to red pill if they're on the left. But I've had a lot of women DM me months later down the line and say, you know what?
Yep.
So you know what? I did some research, Bryson. You were right.
Yep. And it's like, it is easy to point out like the hypocrisy of like the left, which used to be the tolerant left, and now it's like conservatives are the tolerant people. We're like a lot of us are like, all right, yeah, be whatever you are, but like don't like shove it down our throats,
I've never thought the left was a tyrant left. I've been telling people that. Like, even when I was on the left, I used to argue with the left. You know what I'm saying? And I used to always be like, bro, this is because they literally, like, you can't have other views. I think the right is too tolerant.
I think the left used to be more like culturally-ish tolerant. Because like I feel like that was a big theme, like 90s or all the early aughts, like everybody's cool, because it was basically like, oh, the right was more like, okay, the Bushes, crusty, you know what I mean? A lot of people who were like anti-religion were like, oh no, that's not with me. And then progressives are like, oh, we're all cool, everyone's holding hands. And now it's like the left is like, they're gonna kick you out if you say, one wrong word.
Oh, what? Oh man. Sometimes I can cancel somebody to the right and left equally sometimes.
Really?
Yeah, it's quite fun actually.
Yeah, I feel like conservatives are like the true resistance, really. I mean, people like to say, oh, look, the whole when Trump won, it was like, we're gonna resist, and it's like, how far did that get you? You know what I mean? Like, and
exactly. They didn't resist anything. They don't even know their purpose. I mean, people don't even know their purpose anyway. People, honestly, a lot of people don't even know much. They just, they just going with the flow, going through the motion. Like, and it's understandable. It's easier that way. It's less drama that way. You know what I'm saying? So in some aspects of life, it is better that way. But with me, you know what I'm saying? I'm with all of it. Send it all my way. I can take all the persecution. I'm down.
Yeah. How does Black Lives Matter make you feel? Do you ever have moments where like, you talk with people and they say, oh, you're, seems like you're not with us?
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not with Black Lives Matter. I cannot stand people hyper focusing on race. I think it's annoying.
It's actually racist to do that.
Yeah, I mean, like some people on the right do it too, and it's just so annoying to me. It's like, bro, in my opinion, there's only one race, and I used to be as pro-black as you could get. Like a lot of these pro-black conservatives, back in the day, I would make them look like pansies. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but I learned, I grew in like me as somebody that's super religious. We look at the Bible, it says nothing about color. It talks about tribes, it talks about nations, it talks about, you know what I'm saying, how to treat your friends. You know what I'm saying? It's talking about things like, it's talking about not being equally yoked as far as like your faith, but it never talks about the color aspect. And it's like, so for you to even claim to be of God and hyper focus on race, it doesn't even make sense. It's like, what do you do? There's only one race. The human race. Everything, yeah, we're just different shades. And to be honest, we're all just different shades of brown. From dark brown to super duper light brown. Everybody. And it's like, you know, so when people hyper focus on race, I'm like, ugh, ugh. Made me want to throw up.
What are like the biggest turnoffs for like BLM for you?
The fact that they're genuinely just LGBT disguised in the BLM. You know the old Scooby Doo shows?
Yes.
Used to be a monster. You take off the mask, and it was actually just a person. It's like the mask is Black Lives Matter, but you take it off, but it's just LGBT. I mean, because at the rally, at the Blue rally, when they came and attacked it, I didn't see one sign that said just Black Lives Matter. I saw BLM, but like the signs that had them all like worded out, it said Black Queer Lives Matter or Black Trans Lives Matter. Somebody that's never just Black Lives Matter. And then them same people talking about Black Lives Matter walked past me and called me a coon. So I'm like, okay, my Black life don't matter, does it? Herman Cain, Black life didn't matter, did it?
Elevate Black voices, except for yours.
Oh yeah, let's not elevate Bryson's voice. No.
Yeah, I was a bit confused when it was like, okay, the movement started like Black Lives Matter started like, all right, 4 years ago, and then obviously the resurgence now. Trump's up for re-election, and it went from like, you know, all right, police brutality, but then all of a sudden it was about Black trans people, and I was like, I'm not sure why these are part of the same movement.
Well, the girls that started the hashtag, we know who elevated the actual movement to become official, which is George Soros, the Ford Foundation, and others. But the girls that started the hashtag, I mean, 2 of them were lesbian, and one of them was the one straight one ended up dying, got kidnapped and killed or something like that.
Wow. Yeah, and that's what people. Do you feel like there's a lot of discussion in the Black community about Soros paying protesters, about him basically like hijacking the movement and funding it?
It started as a hashtag, but people wanted to know like how are they traveling so much? Well, that's because the Ford Foundation gave them. I'm probably wrong on my numbers because I haven't read the thing in a while, but it was like 20 million over 6 years, and George Soros donated like 15 million or something. That's how they're traveling. It's not even like, so the people who run the actual thing, you know what I'm saying, are actually old white people.
Yeah. And they've got ulterior motives for sure. It's like it's control. It's to like, it's to kind of like, right? If you're not making your own money, if you don't have your own business, you're easier to control.
Yeah, I mean they want to cause chaos, because if you call them chaos, then nobody's really thinking about what's going on with all the sex trafficking going on in America. And
I'm gonna be started on that. I literally got suspended from Twitter 2 days ago for reporting like accounts that had legit child porn on Twitter, and I was like, copying the link. Here's the account. You guys gotta report it, and then I get reported, and I'm like, how is Twitter so dumb that they can't discern between the real monsters and people trying to shut it down?
Oh, they're not dumb. They just think you're the real monster.
Yeah.
Not the pedophiles. The pedophiles aren't the monsters, right?
It seems a lot is pointing to they're down with it. It's like a lot is pointing to they're, at the very least, they're okay with, and at the most, they're in on it. You know, they're profiting from it.
Have you not seen the TED Talks normalizing pedophilia?
I haven't yet.
Oh yeah. That's where we are in society now. We're way past. I mean, all this been slippery slope for me, so I'm not surprised. But yeah, pedophilia is like starting to be seen. And then I saw another one. I hope it was a joke. I'm praying it was a joke. But I saw something on Instagram that said something like normalized incest too. I'm like,
holding hands. I was like, gross. I was like, yeah, this is. People think, oh, this is progressive. We can't judge pedophiles. We have to like be sympathetic. It's like, I get maybe you're not in control of like urges, but that's your job to like, you know what I mean? I mean, having an urge is one thing, acting out on it and like kids is another.
Exactly. And also, I don't know if you know, I'm gonna tell you what's next. Mark my words. They're normalizing bestiality next. Period.
Dude, that's what I saw on some of these accounts. They had child porn and then also like disgusting bestiality. And I was like,
oh, so they're already doing it.
And I was on these Twitter accounts and I was like, holy shit, I've never even, like, I've been like in all my life, I've never seen either of these things. And boom, it's under your nose now. It's like you don't have to go to the dark web anymore. It's in Twitter.
I didn't even know they was already trying to do it with bestiality, but wow.
On this one account, I mean, it's my new hobby now. It's shutting down these accounts. It's my new hobby. It's
that's actually super disgusting. Honestly.
Actually super disgusting because like as someone who like really cares about animals a great deal too, it's like like kids, animals, all very innocent. Not down with this shit at all.
Yeah, that is wow. Okay. That's listen. I don't know, dude. This is weird to me.
Yeah, it's concerning, and it's like I don't know if the rationale is like, oh, we're gonna be woke to the point where like we're accepting things that are not good for humankind. Yeah.
I'm anti-woke. Call me sleep. Oh, you call me what you want, but I'm not with all the nonsense. I can't do it. Not me. That's why my life plan currently, I'm gonna still try to combat the culture, and I'm gonna do it to the day I die. But I want to buy me some land, build a few houses on it, a few teaching, learning centers, get a farm, a nice fruit farm, vegetable farm, invite a few people, gated community, that sounds awesome to me. So that's my plan.
I'll come be your neighbor.
Okay, awesome. You're invited.
Okay. Get away from our animals. What are you doing with that bag of food? What do you think is worse to be called, a coon or a Karen?
Oh, what's worse? I don't know. Karen's actually just light and funny. Coon actually derived from like they used to call black people coon back in the day, and now black people use it against black people, which is hilarious.
Yeah. I guess I agree. Karen's kind of like, it's hard to take that seriously.
Yeah.
Well, you're just somebody who kind of hasn't hasn't had fun in a while. I don't know. So it's interesting. It's really interesting. And I think what you're doing is really brave because it's like you make it a point to have no profanity in your music and you make it a point to have positive messaging because how much there is a need for that in society and also like how good it is for people to hear something else.
Yeah, and I used to make the bad music. So like that's why I like even the political music I make now with no cursing and about positive things, if you replace those words with the same song, same melodies, same cadences and everything, replace the words with something degenerate, then it'll be played on the radio. Like I used to make songs. Like I've had so many songs on the radio since I was 16. I know what type of music makes the radio. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So if you just replace the words I say and replace them with like bad things, I guarantee you it'll be on radio. I know because I had songs on radio. But now that I'm making positive music with still trendy beats, still catchy things, oh no, they're not playing that. No, sir.
Maybe, Bryson, you could write a song that's kind of sneaky, that sounds gross, but really it's like, it's about good stuff. Like if you wrote a song called Wet Ass Bible, I think we could get that on the charts.
That'd be hilarious.
Lab. We could have Lab.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Left it out in the rain. The Lord came. I don't know. It's interesting. So what's your kind of, are you pessimistic about the future of things? Are you nervous about November? What's your sort of hope for the future?
I'm not necessarily worried about November. What I'm worried about is Trump has one more term, 4 more years. I think he will win. Who are we propping up for 2024? A lot of people are not focused on that. And don't get me wrong, I'm all Trump.
I haven't heard anyone talk about that. Yeah.
But nobody is talking about 2024, which is very important because if you think the liberals going to stop their plan because Trump wins again, you have lost your mind. They're just going to go 10 times harder You know what I'm saying? In 2024. So who do we have in 2024? I don't know. I've been thinking. I don't know. I'm not really a huge fan of somebody, people right now running for president. So that's what I feel like we need to be focused on. So that's what I'm sort of thinking about. And also, I think there's separate wars going on. I think you have the political war. I think you have culture war. I think all of it together is a spiritual war.
Mm-hmm.
So the political war, I think, will win on that front. But we have to literally vote out every Democrat. You know what I'm saying? So it can't just be Trump. You got to give Trump support. So when he needs these vote things to pass through, you have to give it to him. So I think we have the political war sort of on lock. We still need to make sure we're good. But as far as the culture war, even if Trump wins, we're losing that. Like right now, we're losing that. Everything is disgusting. Like everything is disgusting. Everything of every part of culture, entertainment is disgusting. So I'm sort of pessimistic on that, but I've inspired a lot of people to start back making positive music, and I think we can gain some ground. We just need somebody to do the same with Netflix. Well, I've heard of PureFlix, but I don't, I have to look into them.
PureFlix, huh?
Yeah, I've heard that. So, but I think we need to, make sure we're hitting the culture war from all fronts.
Yeah, that's true. And really raising other conservative voices, I guess. I think maybe trying to stick together, I guess, and uplift one another. Like, yeah, reach over. Like, I'm going to reach over from comedy to music to, fields outside of myself. If I see somebody with a good voice and a good message, I'll try to promote others as best as I can, I feel like just the way out is going to be with like love and not fear, and just trying to keep putting out good stuff, and I don't know, it's pretty crazy. And I am also a little bit disgusted at how the culture has been going, and I'm pretty open, I'm pretty cool with most things, but yeah, I was not prepared to see that shit on Twitter the other day, and I just was like, I couldn't sleep. I was like, people are like, oh, how dare you tag this account? I don't want to see this shit. It's like, yeah, nobody wants to see it. It should not be on Twitter. And it's like, you think you feel bad? Imagine how these kids feel. Imagine how what shit they have to deal with for the rest of their life.
Exactly. It's disgusting. And me, I'm to the point now, I don't know if my mind continues evolving, but I tried to listen to some of my old music yesterday. I was disgusted at myself. My older self, I was disgusted. I'm like, ew, I cannot believe I was doing this. And what makes it sad is we used to perform at middle schools. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and our music was about women shaking their butts. Strippers. Our music was about strippers. Literally. And when I just sit back and think, we were performing this music at middle schools, and these kids knew every single word. Like, there's a video. I was in a rap group called 336 Boys with a Z. All our music was about terrible things. And I was watching this old video, man, like 10, 11 years ago. We walked into this middle school, and these kids thought we were like Michael Jackson. They came and attacked us, and man, And when I think about what song we performed, it was called Shake for the Money. At a middle school. Kids were obsessed with us just to sing a song called Shake for the Money. Man, I just look back, man, and that's why it just made me want to go 10 times harder what I'm doing. I feel like I'm still making up for what I feel like I'm still making up for what I used to do.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like you invented that. You're just subconsciously, you're just kind of following what's popular, and you're just like, you know what, I want to be successful, so I'm going to do what I've seen other people be successful with, and I think it's a lot braver. It takes a lot more, and it takes, it takes more to be successful in choosing a different path. It's like, I'm going to take my talents and my skills and like make something just as good with a different message. It's easy to be unconscious. It's easy. And just like with the middle school kids, it's like they like it, and they're probably not dissecting it. It's like they know the lyrics, but they're not actually like putting it together what they're saying. It's all like so subconscious. And it's like we wake up when we wake up. That's all that matters, is that we do wake up at some point.
You know what's funny? My aunt called me the other day. She was like, your MAGA album ain't bad, but I miss the twerk music. Like, I need something to shake my tail to. And I'm like, that's the problem. I'm blunt. I said, people like you are the problem. You have kids. You have young kids. You know what I'm saying?
Not that you can't dance and have a good time, but Yeah. It shouldn't be
What
trying to change your message.
yeah, like what values to be honest. And like she has a son, you know, Bray love me, man. You know what I'm saying? But I just keep thinking like, man, what is he around? What is he surrounding him with? What type of people? What are they teaching him? You know, so it's like it's just, you know, scary to me.
Yeah. A lot of it's unconscious, but it's like you're affecting people that you don't even know. It's like you're
Yeah,
inspiring people that you'll never hear from, will never meet. You know, it's always good to keep that in mind when you have days that are like, oh, I don't know, am I making a difference? What's the point? It's like you are. People are hearing you, seeing you, what you're doing.
exactly. Yeah.
So I appreciate you, Bryson. For people that are just hearing about you now, where can they follow you? Where can they support you?
Follow me at your own risk. My my Twitter is real Bryson Gray. My Instagram is Bryson Creates. If you're a snowflake, right wing snowflake or left wing snowflake, please don't follow me. I don't got time to be reporting my dang on account so I can get suspended again. Leave me alone. I don't care about having 20 million followers. So if you're sensitive, just do not follow me. And my YouTube
I
is
love it.
Bryson Gray.
Yes, follow him on YouTube, follow him on Instagram, Twitter, all the things. Are you working on anything right now? So that magazine just came out, right? That's like your most recent.
Last month, and I'm working on a Christian album right now. It's not the Christian music that you used to. I call it faith-based music. Faith-based music, really. And that's coming out. I'm shooting for the first week of September. I'm almost done with it. I got like 2 or 3 more songs to do.
Awesome, awesome. Something Jesus can twerk to. I love it. Bryson, thank you so much for coming on, and I hope to talk to you soon.
Thank you so much for having me.
Anytime. Bye.